Would I be right in saying that today's guest is our first Champions League winner?
Probably first and last.
100%.
Well, why?
I don't know, a bit defeatist, that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Gareth Bale might come on.
Underestimate this podcast.
Iniesta.
Yeah, Paul Lambert.
Teddy Sheringham. Achievable?
Yeah.
Has he won the Champions League?
Scored, didn't he?
Hey, before we get going this week, we need to say a massive thank you to our sponsors for this episode, MatchBingo, which we spoke about last week.
Yep.
A few comments saying it's a dobber, but more saying it's a dibber.
No more saying a dabber.
Dabber.
Yeah, that was right, yes. Well, the link's in the description and the QR code's on the screen if you fancy getting yourself involved.
Tell us about the game, Chris.
I've played it this weekend. It's good. You get the card, you get your bingo card on the app, and then it's 3 corners in the first half, so many saves, Eddie goal, and then if they happen in the game,
You dob them off.
they get dobbed off.
Did you win?
No. I
But
was
good fun.
2 fouls short, I think, or was it a yellow card? Either way, I didn't win.
You were close but no cigar.
Close but no cigar. But there's a couple of games this weekend, over £1,000 prize money. And it's just £2 for the card. And the big thing, which was a big reason for us getting involved, is that 35% of that £2 for your card goes to the Stroke Association, goes to charity.
70 pence out your £2, job
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, it's a nice touch, that, isn't it?
But it's a good bit of fun while you're watching the match and knowing that you're helping the charity out as well. So yeah, all you got to do is follow scan the QR code or click on the link in the description. Download the app. Get yourself involved. There's a free game as well.
Talking of winners, shall we get Lambert in?
Got to be 18 or over. Please play responsibly.
Well, shall we get him in? Not quite yet though. Not before we say thank you to the Patreons.
Yes.
As always.
The heroes, the proper heroes of this podcast.
Yeah, we know we say it. We've said it every episode, haven't we, this series? But that's because...
2 extra episodes a month.
Yeah.
£2.50.
What does £2.50 get you these days, John? You tell us.
2 extra episodes a month. That's what it gets you.
It certainly don't get you a meal deal from Tesco's.
No.
No.
Small
Or
coffee?
or any
a
other
coffee.
supermarkets.
No, you're £3 at Costa at garage.
Yeah, they put the prices up, haven't they?
Yeah. So
listen,
£2.50.
the one that sprung to mind was Danny Graham, and I think Danny gets a mention in this because
Yes.
Lambert loved him.
And
But
that's a top tier episode.
tier.
Yankee
Yeah,
Bravos.
Yankee Bravos.
So if you do fancy getting involved, the link's in the description. £2.50, and it helps produce the regular ones, don't it? Right, how are we going to do with clubs?
I'm
this
going for the
week?
full house. St Mirren, Motherwell, Borussia Dortmund, Celtic.
Managed?
Wickham, Colchester, Norwich, Aston Villa, Blackburn, Stoke, Ipswich.
Oh my word,
What
have
an
you been
absolute
swatting?
blinder. No,
Colchester.
did I say
You said
Colchester?
Colchester, yeah.
See, I was about to have a go at that. I think I'd have got 6 out of 7.
Bollocks. Go again then.
He could be his next Champions League
I
guest.
reckon you could do him again after just hearing him and still not get
I
6
know.
out of 7.
Michael Ballack next Champions League guest. Michael Ballacks.
Right, he's here. Should we get him in?
Yes.
We're just on about, I've told this on here before, the dislocated finger gas and air jobby, but I came on against QPR on the Tuesday. Danny Green was injured.
Yeah.
I came on for Tom Lawrence and I thought, day off Wednesday and we trained Thursday, but my knee was hanging off during training and I didn't want to, obviously if he come to you and say my knee's fucked, I'm not playing Saturday.
Yeah.
Just where it was. So anyway, my fingers come out with joint, and I thought, perfect, that's me pass to get out with this session. So I've got to see Amit, the doctor, and he's really professional. He's getting us on the bed and got the full works.
Is he aware of your knee?
No,
Or-
I mentioned my kney.
Right, okay.
But I've just said my finger, I feel a bit dizzy, doc. He said, right, get on the bed. So I'm there. I think I had the story saying I had a neck brace on and all that. And you've got wind of it, haven't you?
Yeah. The thing was, right, when I took over Blackburn, I knew the lads would be good guys. Most of them would be good guys. And Browny was centre forward. I thought, we need him back out in that. We need him to play. And there's always this thing about you, wasn't there? People really liked you, but you couldn't get their goals. You know what I mean? People,
You're telling me.
No, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I thought, no, it's a bit harsh, this. I'm going to see how he does.
A bit harsh, you didn't get any goals.
And,
Factually, Factually,
no,
we're correct.
no, well, I didn't want to say that on but the thing I thought, we need to try and get the best out of him here. And when that happened, and I remember walking in the treatment room, and honestly, he was in gas in there. I thought, this guy's going to die here. And when I heard it was his finger, I went, this guy's on gas in the air for a finger job. I think I said to Alan Irvin, Rob Kerr, I said, that big fucker's in there again. With a finger job, he's got gas in the air on. They couldn't believe it. I went, I'm telling you. I said, we need to check our contracts to see if we can get out of here, because this place is, can't have that. We can't have somebody lying on the table with gas in the air.
6'4" and you've got gas in the air with you.
My big centre forward's got gas in air.
Aye.
Dislocated finger.
That's right.
I could have throttled the dock. Because I tried saying, like, no, it'll be all right. I'll just get some
Just put it
sugar in
over.
it.
Oh, get this in you.
Aye.
Thing wheeled it over. Oh my God.
Could you see a bit of potential in him? Did you think, because obviously Blackburn were a car crash for you, weren't it?
Yeah. What I remember, I think the game before you left Jordan on the bench and played me. And then we had a game on the Tuesday. Did the fan say something to you? He said, what you doing playing Browny?
Aye, he did, you're right. You're right. Was that not your dad there? Was that not your dad who said that? No.
Everyone was thinking it was just one fucker who said it.
Dad, put the scarf on.
No, one thing about him, you'd always get sheer effort, which I always think is sometimes people say that really flippant, but I always thought, go on, get a goal, and you can stuff it up people, at certain times. And I always thought he'd a lot to offer with it. He might not have got the goals, but I think he'll bring other people into the game. And I thought, well, let's see how he kind of does with that, And that was always my kind of thinking with him, that he could get something.
I think you said to him, well, because it was in the car park, literally before the game, and you went, he'll be pulling up, mate, in 20 minutes if you want to say it to his face.
He's got a bandage on his finger, like.
He'll come on a stretcher.
He's got a neck brace as well. But I always think that fans are brilliant for hiding behind things, I think. Because everybody tries their best to play. And when it gets that pure abusive way, which happens in the game, I just think, well, wait outside and see what happens then. And then see it,
He was a croak their own arse.
Yeah, that's the thing. We spoke about this last night in that episode. You hear everything in the ground. You get the boos, you get the footworks. Yeah. Not one person said anything to me face.
No, and I was right, and you probably wouldn't get that unless, I don't know, somebody said a few drinks or whatever and think they're brave then. But you very rarely get that with people coming up to you in a car park. You shouldn't have been in that position anyway, with it anyway. But if they're real supporters, they'll get behind you.
Well, I think I've mentioned it on here because I think I'd been out 6 months before you'd come in.
Yeah.
My first game was Bristol City away, and you put us on with half an hour to go, and we were comfortably winning. I think we beat them 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And we've come in, and you've said your bit, and said, right lads, get showered, changed, and you've gone to walk off, and then before I forget, and because obviously at this point I'm still getting shit from wherever I've struggled. But you went, by the way, you were fucking brilliant when you came on. And I felt fucking 6'10".
Yeah, yeah.
And I know because I've listened to you tell a story about O'Neill.
Yeah.
His thing of making you fail something. You did a tackle on the
Canio.
Was it Canio?
Yeah, we played West Ham at Parkin in a friendly. I just made a bog standard tackle. Martin, I think the gaffer he just arrived. I think that was his first kind of summer in Glasgow. And he came in at the end of the game. He went, he said, absolutely brilliant. I went, what? What's he talking about? He said, well done in the tackle. I thought, that to me it was just a bog standard thing. But he made you feel that of, and I thought, yeah, and it all stuck with me to get the best out of people of the slightest little thing they do great. You try and magnify it and say, okay, well done, I mean, when I was growing up, the dressing room I get brought up into was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. And but that was a game. It made you grow up.
And was that a completely different type of man management at that time, starting at St Mirren?
Oh yeah, no. I seen things in there that it was unrepeatable in certain aspects. I seen unbelievable fights in dressing rooms when the games were still getting played. And I was only 17, so I made my debut when I was 15, and I won the Scottish Cup when I was 17. So I was brought into that environment really, really quickly. And we were brought up with a brilliant dressing room brilliant dressing room. But they looked after us. The guys looked after us, but they also made you think, well, if the boots weren't clean or the showers weren't clean or the kit wasn't done, then they'd let you know.
We're at a completely different mindset at that time. With the man management, is everybody just treated the same?
Tough love.
Yeah. That's the mantra.
Yeah, you had I had a guy, and I always say, my first manager at St Mirren, Ricky McFarlane signed me, but Ricky left. I was only 13. He signed me when I was at school. Ricky left, and Alec Miller came in, ex-Rangers player. And he came in with Martin Ferguson, who was Sir Alec's brother, and a guy called Drew Jarvie, who was a brilliant player for Aberdeen. And I always say to this day, thankfully, that they were my coaches growing up, because he got me into good habits. Then Alec left, and then Alex Smith came in. He was brilliant with young guys. He played me in the Scottish Cup final. And then Jimmy Bowen came in. Jimmy was assistant, who was hard as nails, proper hard man. And a good guy, but one you wouldn't mess with. And Jimmy came in. And then I get sold, or I left after about 8 or 9 years at St Mirren.
Yeah. McAvenny was there, wasn't he?
Frank was there. Frank, he says, "Wee man, do you drink?" Bear in mind, I was 15 at the time. He said, "Do you drink?" He said, "Do you drink?" I went, "No, Frank." He said, "Do you smoke?" I went, "No, Frank." He says, "Do you go with a woman?" I went, "No, Frank." He went, "You'll never be a fucking player, son." I went, "Well, okay." And then he went to West Ham. And I'll never forget that. But that group...
Did you change?
Yeah, that group brought me up unbelievable. Brought me up with a bit of hardness and respect and discipline that we needed at that time. We needed, to be fair, we enjoyed cleaning the boots and washing the cars and painting the stadiums and things like that. I loved all that side of it because it gave you good discipline.
Could change you that though as an impressionable young lad.
15
Be straight out pub with him. Back in
I think 20 Marble Lights and a bird on your arm. I think you're ticking all 3 at 15 of them, aren't you?
Yeah.
Smoking, drinking, shagging.
Yeah. Probably 30.
Yeah. So you got that kind of upbringing be there. And that's why St Mirren was an absolute brilliant club to be brought up, because I get brought up with hardy pros.
Am I right in saying, it might be bollocks this, but did you get sent home from
after the final?
After winning the final, the celebrations, you went up?
Aye, that's it. Manager, Ali, he gave us the celebrations at the beginning and he said, "Right, that's enough for you. Where you go."
17, you're not old enough to drink coffee.
17, I look after us, aye. Look, say, "Where you go." That's it. Which, when in hindsight you look back on it, it was a masterstroke really. Because at 17 you might have thought, well, this is just normal for me, I'm going to win this X, Y and Z.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you realise I'm hit something, it's not quite as easy as that. But it was a great upbringing because he just went, "Away you go." And that was me way home.
You'd be gutted if you never won anything else though for the rest of your career, wouldn't you? And that was you.
I'm kicking and screaming. I'm going on kicking and screaming there.
I'm buying some fags on my home. 100%. I'm just smoking them all up my own. Fuck you.
But
show him.
That was that group. That group were unbelievable to play with.
When you say fighting in dressing rooms, do you mean between themselves or with other teams?
Oh no, I seen probably the best fight I'd ever seen in my life in the dressing room. I was just 17, and we were playing a European tie because we obviously won the cup the year before, and I was 17, and the way Love Street St Mirren Park dressing room was, I was furthest away from the door, so I get taken off with 20 minutes to go. I think we're winning 2-0. The manager takes us off, so I'm taking my boots off, 17 at the time. I thought, manager says, "Well done," and you go, "Just go and have a shower. It's 20 minutes to go." So just at that, the doors burst open, and Frank McGarvey, God rest him, died not that long ago. Frank comes in and he said, "I can't believe I've been taken off here. I can't believe it. 20 minutes to go." And I've never said anything. I'm only young at the time. And the door busts open, and this assistant manager comes in. He just walked up to Frank and says, "Don't you ever," and he went bang, smacked him. And I looked up.
There's only you 3 in the room.
Aye, that's it.
What did I do?
Absolutely, because the game's getting played. So I went, Jesus, what a punch that was. So I've just sat and went, well, I can't move because I can't get to the door because that's where the fight is. So you can hear the noisy crowd outside and this fight's going on, And I went, what am I going to do here? So I've looked at that fight still going on. There's no way I could separate them because they were 2 big guys. At that time I was only 17.
Front row seat.
Yeah. So I thought, well, and we're going to have to get some help here. So the 2 groundsmen were standing outside, a guy called Tam and Danny. I said, "Tam, Danny's a fight in there." I said, "You better go and try and break it up." And I swear to God, all you hear is the thud, the punches are getting done, And I thought, dear God, they're still at it. This is still going on. Anyway, get split up. Frank said to me, he said, get me a bit of paper. I went, Frank, when am I going to get a bit of paper? He said, get me a bit of paper. Anyway, I find a bit of paper and he writes on it. He said, give that to the manager after the game. Frank gets ready, gets his suit on and goes. So the manager comes in. I said, Gaffer, Frank's asked me to give you that. And I went, right. He went, okay. So we won 2-0. You go back to your parents. I'm still staying with my parents. How'd the game go? Great. Never said a word about the fight. Because in the morning, when I'm on ground staff duty, I'm cleaning the boots. The assistant manager comes in. He says, manager wants to see you. Tell him the truth what happened. And I went, Jesus. He says, tell me exactly what you saw. And I went, anyway, went up and seen the manager and he says, who threw the first punch? And I said, Jimmy. He went, right, okay, thanks very much. I went down the stairs and Jimmy came back in the boot room and he locked the door and I thought, oh, you know.
You were expecting the punch?
Oh, I thought I'm going to get it here. And he went, well done for telling the truth, it'll stand you in good stead. And I thought, fucking hell, that was brilliant. It was a brilliant bit of advice he gave me. So I seen two sides of that. I seen the fight, which is probably the ugly side, but I got unbelievable advice after. He said, tell the truth. He said, it'll stand you in good stead. That was probably the best fight I'd seen.
Did you ever find out what were on the paper?
It's a transfer request.
I thought it might have been that.
Aye, it's a transfer request. Frank has put in, aye. So it was. And Frank, oh dear, what a player. Unbelievable player for Celtic. And went to Liverpool for a short spell. But he took us under his wing at that age. But when I saw the fight, I went, oh, this was meant to happen here, you know. But
what football's all about.
Then you get accustomed to it. And you know exactly that was, because everybody wanted to win.
Was that him done then? Did he leave not long after that?
I think he did. Then Frank came back as assistant manager with a guy called Tony Fitzpatrick. They two played together and then, Frank came back as assistant.
So your 2 years at Motherwell, you get that random phone call, don't you, from, is it a Dutch agent?
Aye.
Was that another thing? Just tell us that story when with the Bosman rule and
one. The Bosman rule, aye. So we were a really good side, Motherwell at that time. We really were. And we got drawn against Dortmund in the UEFA Cup. I think it was UEFA Cup that year. I said to Alan McLeish, I'm not going to go. And if my son's not born, I'm going to stay here in Glasgow because my son's just about to be born the same time we played Dortmund. I said, so if he's not born, I'm going to stay and be at the birth. If he is born, then I'll come over. Anyway, he was born and then went over. And I had one of the games where you're playing in adrenaline. Your son's born, everything's going great. And I thought, I've done no bad there. But never thought nothing of it. But I remember warming down with Billy Davis at the time. And we're warming down, the Dortmund fans it was mad. I said, fuck's sake, Billy. I said, can you imagine playing in front of this every other fucking week? I said, unbelievable, this support. Never seen anything like it. He went, oh, no, it'd be great, wouldn't it? We parked that.
Did you win the game? I remember.
No, they beat us 1-0. But we had a good game, Motherwell, so we still in the tie at that time. They battered us at Fir Park. They beat us 2-0, but they battered us. It was an easy 2-0. And we came back, and then my last year, and the Bosman ruling was obviously kicking in. So Rad McKinnon phoned us, I said, where are you? He went, I'm at Twente Enschede in Holland. I went, fuck, how'd you get that move? He went, this Dutch guy, Ton van Dalen. I went, fucking hell. I said, do me a favour, get him to give me a call, will you? He went, aye. That time the mobile phone wasn't, we couldn't afford one at that time. So it was a house phone. So Motherwell were going to Northampton to train pre-season. So sure enough, my first phone goes, and I picks up. He said, Paul, it's Ton van Dalen. He said, you want to play abroad? I went, that'd be great. He said, give me 10 days and I'll get back to you. And I went, fuck, there's no way this guy's calling me back, you know. So Rab phoned us, he said, did he get hold of you? I went, aye. He said, he'll get back to you. I went, I'll see. Anyway, Motherwell were going to Northampton. So I phoned Billy. I said, Billy, I'm going to throw a sickie here. I'm not coming. He went, what? He said, I'm not coming. I said, I'm waiting for this agent to phone me up. Sure enough, he phoned me in 10 days. And he went, Paul, jump in the plane, fly to Enschede, and I'll meet you, and I'll tell you what's happening. So I went, fuck it. Packed a bag, Motherwell away.
He's not give you any clubs?
No.
Just come and meet me now.
We'll
see where we're going.
Aye, that time, aye. He said, come and meet me.
Out your own pocket?
That's it. Aye, that's it. And at that time, we were really struggling for money at that time. So I said, we need to try this. I need to do something here. So jumps in the plane, get to Enschede, don't know what Tom looks like. I haven't a clue who this guy is.
I'm a pink shirt.
Aye, fucking
Dutch fixer.
and there's no Google or anything. There's fucking nothing on it. Anyway, I goes out and I see this guy. He went, Paul, like that. He's lighting up his cigarette. Ton's lighting up a cigarette. He said, welcome. He said, I'll tell you what's going to happen. So he jumps in the car and I swear to God, he must have smoked about 100 within 5 minutes. Fucking, I was like, gassed out my head. Fucking, he says, what we're going to do is we're going to go to PSV Eindhoven. And then if that doesn't work, I'll tell you what's happening. So he's not told me. And so I go to Eindhoven and Dick Advocate's the coach, right? And Eindhoven, they're a brilliant team at that time. Arthur Newman was there, Wim Jonk, Luke Nealis. Oh, they had some right top players.
Are you surprised
Aye,
at that when he says PSV? You're like, Jesus.
Yeah, because I thought he would say somewhere like in Azerbaijan or something. And I thought, fucking hell, Eindhoven. Anyway, I trained with him for 5 days and he plays me in the right wing. And I scored 2 goals in 2 games, but I was never a winger because I never had the speed. I was quick as Browny, which
Harsh that.
but true. But, so I scored 2 goals and fucking came from nowhere. And the 5th day, wee Dick comes up and says, Paul, he said, listen, I need a quick winger. So anyway, go with Ton. I said, Ton, where are we going? He said, we're going to Dortmund. I went, fucking what, on holiday? I said, okay, no, you're going and try with Borussia Dortmund. And I went, fucking hell, I'm at my depth here.
Did you genuinely feel that? Imposter syndrome?
Without a doubt, Brownie, because I'd been at Bayer Leverkusen when I was 21 on trial, right? And I swear to God, they were brilliant. They were a top side. Novotny was there, Ulf Kirsten was there, Andreas Thom was there, and the ball moved 100 miles an hour. And I went, wow, I'm miles off it here, miles off it in Leverkusen. And the coach was a guy called Stepanovic. He said, thanks very much, not good enough, see you later.
What are Motherwell saying at this point? So you probably had like 15 days off, hadn't you?
Motherwell don't know where I am. Because no, they don't. Because we Billy's phoned me and he said, by the way, he said, Big Alex asking where you are. He said, I said, Billy, you didn't tell me I'm no well. But Alex,
Good job you've no mobile phones at this point.
Aye, but he tried to get a hold of me. I think I was in a hotel. He said, I'm going to send the doctor around. I went, no, there's no point, boss, I'm no well. Never told him. And wee Billy's phoned me. I'm getting Billy. The only one that really knows is Billy Davis, what's happening. And Billy said, where you going? I said, I'm going to Dortmund. He went, fucking Jesus, what a move this, if you can get it. Anyway, this is where it really kicks in. So I go to Dortmund. So he said, Paul, we're going to meet a guy called Mr. Michael Meyer. He went, he's the general manager. He said, let's see what happens. Anyway, goes and sits in the office with Ton, myself, Mr. Meyer, Colin, and they don't speak German.
So you just sat there?
Just sat there. And they went like that with me. All right, there's a deal. He said, if you do well in the 4 games here, there's your deal. If you don't do well, thanks very much, see you later. He says, okay. I went, right. I said, where do I go? He said, well, you need to go to Lübeck. I went, well, don't know where Lübeck is. He said, you're going to get a lift with a guy called Walter Mass. And I have a laugh now because I know Walter. So this is all going back. So these guys I'm talking about I really know really well now. So this guy comes and I see this wee guy. He's about 3'6". He went, Paul, welcome. I went, are you driving the car to Lübeck? He went, yeah. He said, I went, fucking hell, fucking wee guys. He looked like a dungeon master. Do you remember that cartoon? wee Walter, you know. Aye, that was it. Wee Walter looked like that. And I went, anyway, we get in this Mercedes and he nails it down the Autobahn. I said, how long here? He went, 4. I went, what, 40 minutes? He went, 4 hours. I said, 4 hours? He went, don't worry. He said, I'll do it in 2. And he bombed it down this Autobahn. And you know, I'm holding the grip of the car and my knuckles are going absolute jet white. Nobody knows where I am at all. Nobody knows where I am. I'm holding this car. Get to Lübeck and the plane comes in. He said, you're going to meet the team. They're coming from Switzerland. And the plane, I just see this plane coming in. Then next thing, I go around the corners, thousands of Dortmund fans, yellow, black, yellow, everywhere. What you see now is what it's like. Yeah. And I've seen thousands at the airport and I went, fucking Jesus Christ, back to your point, I'm at my depth here.
Yeah. This is 96 as well. So
Aye.
this just after Germany won
Won
the
the Euros. So they're flying.
Yeah.
So half the team are playing for Dortmund
Yeah.
at that time. It won Euro 96. Some had won the World Cup in 90. Some had won the Bundesliga a couple of years before. Some had won Serie A titles. So I'm thinking, I'm having a laugh here. So we played Lübeck in a 45-minute game, and there's thousands there. But he plays me in the centre of the pitch, where I normally play, and things go well for me. I played my next 45 minutes against Hamburg, and that went well. So I played 90 minutes in the same day, but against two teams. But we're playing Bayer Leverkusen. So Dortmund were playing Bayer Leverkusen on the Saturday, the first Bundesliga game. So Omar pulls me, and he said, this was the Thursday before the season started. So we went back to Dortmund. I trained for a couple of days up in Dortmund. Omar pulls me, he said, I believe you've got the contract sorted, have you? I went, yeah. He went, we want you to sign to stay. He went, the only thing is we've just signed Paulo Sousa for 7 million Deutschmarks for Juventus. If his knee's all right against Leverkusen, he'll play and you'll be on the bench. I went, okay, I'm signing this contract.
Where are you contractually with St Mirren then?
No,
Motherwell.
I was at Motherwell.
Sorry, Motherwell.
I took the Bosman.
Oh, so you were out of contract.
Free agent.
Right.
So I was free. So I knew then I had the option to do what I wanted.
Right. So you just thought, I'll get fit, go to Northampton, get fit with them.
No, I never went.
No, but you
I could have.
Before
That was the
the-
alternative.
Yeah.
before the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not signing, but
Yeah.
I'll come and get fit
Northampton
with you.
Yeah.
Dortmund.
Yeah. And then I go there. Dortmund signed Paulo. And Paulo just won the Champions League a year before with Juventus, you know. And Omar said if he's fit, he's obviously playing. But Paulo never made the game. And where it all really turned for me, the Dortmund thing, was we played Leverkusen, and Omar played me in the centre of the pitch. And we always played with a back three. That Germans were brilliant at back three. And I'd probably Kohler and Sammer and Cesar were just unbelievable to play behind, or they played behind me. But I played against a guy called Paulo Sergio, Brazilian, and Otmar said, just be aware of their number 10. I think the guy took the ball off me twice. I think he scored once, and I went, fucking, this is really quick. You know, I used to watch this on BSB or whatever it was at that time. I thought, German football looks really slow. I thought, I think I could naively think I could play that level. And I went in there.
The slower the better.
Aye, right. And I thought, that looks quite slow. I think I could play in that level. Biggest lot of crap I ever thought in my life. And when I went there, I went, wow, this is, they were coming, like red arrows, they're coming from everywhere. And I went, so I got to half time, and I said to Andy Muller, I said, Andy, can you tell me what right is, what left is, what man on is, what's time? Just tell me the basics of German football here, or the language. And he started to speak it. I went, right, okay. And I thought, I'm going to master the football language first before I get anywhere. We played Dusseldorf on a Tuesday. We lost 4-2 against Leverkusen, but I scored in that game. It gave me a wee bit of confidence. And we played Dusseldorf on the Tuesday. And this is where, as I said, the penny dropped. We had one of the games where everything went right for me. I could have shut my eyes, and it was just going everywhere. I set up a couple and things like that, and Paulo was on the bench that night. So on the bench that night, I think it was Sosa and Riedler and a few other lads. They were just come back for injury. So the board went up, the number went up. So I automatically thought it was my number. It was going to go up. I'm signed from Motherwell. I've come in a Bosman. Nobody really knows who I am. It must be my number because Paulo Sousa's coming on for Juventus. And I started to walk over, and I looked up and went, it's not my number. And that's when the penny dropped. I thought, I'm going to kill people to stay in this team here. Because see if I get the team, that's who's coming off the bench. Riedler, Sosa, Sammer, whoever it is. I thought, wow, you need to perform here. And then it just went bump, took off from there, and then I became one of them, really.
I mean, there's taking a punt and there's taking a punt, isn't there?
Massive, aye.
Yeah.
Rang your mate at 20.
Aye. And that's how it happened. That's exactly. So basically, I always say you take the 10 pence out your pocket and go heads or tails. Heads it works, tails it doesn't.
Could you see yourself improving playing with these?
Yeah.
Browny, honestly, you're only as good as the guy next to you. All right? You're only as good as the guy next to you. I couldn't have played the level I played at if I never had Michael Zorc or Paulo Sousa or Andy Muller. No chance. No, or Jurgen Kohler behind me or Cesar or Sama. I couldn't do it. But when you play with great players, the game becomes really easy. But it's not just what you see in the pitch; it's what you see off it and how they go about it and how they live and how they do it and how they
No
train.
shagging, smoking or drinking.
Oh, listen, the smoking. Yeah, we played that game against Dusseldorf, right? Julius is there, and I swear to God, Julius could play with his suit on and never break sweat. I've never seen a guy like it. He was a big Brazilian guy, absolute unbelievable player. He's about 6 odd caps for Brazil, and Julio never broke sweat. So we played Dusseldorf, and I was going into the bath. And that way the bath's that warm and the steam comes off it. So just like starting to disperse, and I went, I can smell smoke in here. I said, what the hell's that? And the steam disperses. And I'm getting in after the game and I've got grass sponge on my legs. I'm walking, no, that way you get grass sponge, you're walking and you think, oh, fucking hell, this is sore. This. When you get in the water, you go, yeah, bastard, that's sore. Just that the steam disperses. And Gilo's in the back of the bath and he's got the window open, he's just smoking a cigarette like that. And he just looked at me and went, Paul, well done. That was it. He just sat with his cigarette like that. I thought, this guy's unbelievable. He doesn't break sweat, this guy. And
Who's the best
player
they played with?
I asked this question all day. It's really difficult, and I wouldn't want to be disrespectful to the ones I've all played with because they were all brilliant. I love playing with Andy Muller. Andy was unbelievable. The quickest thing ever. And he could play, he could shoot, he could score lightning quick. I think it's a tough one, that, because I don't want to be disrespectful to you, because I thought they were all, you're talking proper team. They were a proper team. But everybody was really humble. I always find that with great players. Everybody's humble. There's never anybody, if I went back to the Dortmund dressing room, you wouldn't know what they'd win.
Yeah.
Never.
So do you know when you actually went to Dortmund, was the contract good enough for you to get a mobile phone? I mean, obviously you're making this massive...
Do you know what? I tell you, this is true, right? I seen the contract, right? And Ton, at Motherwell, I think I was on about £500 a week, which is good money at that time. You're on £500 appearance, things like that. The appearance money, as you probably know yourself, was the main thing for me of, I need to get in this team here. The salary was fine, but it's your appearance money and your bonus money that you were chasing, because you knew that could subsidise your salary. And at Dortmund, the salary was really good. Appearance money was brilliant. The bonus was even better. I thought, geez, I need to play well here. I need to get in this side, because the incentive, whereas now it's different because people can live on their salary now and probably don't need the bonus and the appearance money. So at that time, I thought, I ain't coming out of this team, because I want to win and I want to be part of what I see here, because the club it's an unbelievable club, unbelievable.
What was your first Champions League game? Remember it?
I think it wasn't Stoke. No, Vitesse Lodge. Beat them 2-1. They were obviously Polish team, but they were tough.
It's just that music. I think that's the time I think I've made it, when that music comes on and you stood.
Do you know what, Browny? I think, when you guys probably watch the Champions League football and that, you don't really realise how big it is until you actually win it. That sounds stupid. Until you actually... No, it is, because the group games are great, but then you're just a group game. You've got to qualify. You need to have that feeling of, fuck, it's a final. And that trophy's in front of you and you think, fucking hell, Jesus, just give me that trophy. And the whole thing, the final, just a magnitude of massiveness, it's huge. The group games they're great. Music, nice things and all that. You win it, and then you can go.
Get down to the action.
Aye.
But you played United in the semis, wasn't it? And was it Alex Ferguson's brother, did he come over and watch his train or something?
Watch his train, aye. Because he phoned me in Sir Bobby Charlton, and I think Martin came over. And he phoned me, he said, "What's the day? We're coming." Obviously, coming to Man United kind of party. He said, "It'd be good to catch up." I said, "Well, we're training in the morning."
Is that a bit of an awkward conversation?
Do you know what? The Germans
should I really be doing?
No, because the Germans are so focused on, well, one, they weren't a nation of, or a dressing room where this is giving them power, Man United or anything like that. But in the morning we would only do like 5v2 in the boxes and a bit of passing. You wouldn't see nothing, because everything's done the day before. So Martin came with Sir Bobby Charlton, and and I met him and all that, because he was great with me as a kid. And we beat Man United. We had half a team against Man United at home. There's a lot of big players out. There's about 4 or 5 of them never played. So all man had to put people in different positions and that. But there was always a great belief because it was at home in Dortmund and with the support that it's got. And Martin, I think he said to Alex Ferguson, said, listen, against Porto, they're not as talented as Portuguese or technically gifted as Portuguese, but you're in for a tough one. I've just watched them train. Because in the 5v2s and things like that, there was no prisoners. See if it was there to be won, you take it.
Even just before the Champions League?
Aye. Yeah. They trained the way they played. The Germans trained the way they played.
There was midfield for them.
Roy played in the first game. Beckham played. Giggsy played. I think Ollie played. Ronnie Johnson played, I think. I think Peter Schmeichel got injured in the warm-up. And Van der Houwen in goals. And I think Dennis Irwin played, I think.
I'm just thinking, like, the season before you played, in no disrespect, the Scottish League.
That's
and then fast forward.
Yeah.
What were you like mentally going into these games?
Oh, listen, I was a different animal. Different animal for what I was in Scotland. Because the great thing about playing with these guys is they gave you that feeling. You start to become invincible, really, with that.
Become one of them.
Aye, without a doubt. You love like them. You learn a bit of language like them. You train like them. You do everything like them. That was a beauty about it. So you're a different animal for what I was when I left. I had the massive doubt when I was going because I thought, I'm out my depth here. But when I integrated that with the team and in the training and the games, I thought, no, that's why I never ever, even as a manager, you always give somebody an opportunity. Because I needed somebody to give me the opportunity to go and do what I done. So I never turn an opportunity away for anybody because I think you might just see something.
So he's won, was it 2-1 the first leg?
1-0, we beat them.
So you go on Old Trafford,
yeah.
I'm assuming full of
aye. Well,
belief.
There's a big thing. We said we knew if we scored at Old Trafford it'd be finished. Man United, when they scored 3 against us, no chance at that time. Because the away goal was vital, and Lars Ricken scores after 8 minutes. And then we just knew that Man United, when they score 3, didn't matter. Because still be playing there now and when they scored 3. That was it. But I think Roy missed I think Roy gets suspended after the first leg. I did. And but I just think we were too much for them at that time. And when once Lars scores the goal, then you think, well, that's it, we're there. And you knew Juve were the strongest probably in Europe at that time because of the players you had at that time.
Deschamps,
yeah.
Vieri, Boxic, Del Piero.
Not bad, were they?
So the season before you're playing against like fucking
Jock Smith,
Partick Thistle and fucking Cowden Beef.
Your mind's
and,
blown, isn't it?
Cowden Beef and but it's basically like playing.
It's
like,
unbelievable.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing.
It's some rise.
Yeah,
in such a short period of time.
Yeah,
I missed Zidane off that list as well.
He could play.
It wasn't bad, was he? Yeah, he wasn't bad. But that's what happened.
So you're obviously playing in the final.
The final, we flew to Munich the day before.
Oh, we're in Munich?
Yeah,
which
was unbelievable because we played Hamburg, I think, on the Saturday. And Otmar came to me the night before the Hamburg game, said, Paul, said, I'm not playing you against Hamburg, I'll put you on the bench. He says, final we have on Wednesday, we have to try and win that. And so I said, no problem. We lose to Hamburg. And we flew to Munich the day before and we trained in the stadium. And I played there against Bayern, obviously, and the pitch was unbelievable. It was like playing in a snooker table. It was brilliant. And at that time, you get to adjust to what's going to happen the day of the game. All the banners are out and the Champions League stuff and loads of people taking pictures and things like that. And we get there and Otmar said, he said, Paul, he said, need a word with you? I said, yes. He said, if you get the ball tomorrow, look for the diagonal at some point because he didn't think Peruzzi was great at his back post. So that all stuck with me, that. That's all he ever really said to me. He said, no other thing is Zidane and that, just be aware of him, where he goes. I went, okay. Anyway, Otmar was great at kind of predicting their team would roughly be the morning of the game, so he put it up. But I had a rough idea how they would play Juventus. And Zidane, for me, was brilliant at drifting away for the ball. So I thought to myself, I get caught ball watching, they're good enough to find him. And I knew that if Zidane drifted off, that's when I was going to be in danger. And that's when I realised yeah, this guy's absolute world class. Never realised how tall he was until we stood in the tunnel. I thought, he's a big lad, him. He's big. But he was brilliant, he's both feet. He had that brilliant, elegant sway thing that he could step over both ways. He was brilliant at it. And I thought, okay, he's got that in his locker. And he did skin us a couple of times with it, which listen, it's not a great disgrace to get skinned, but predominantly I kind of matched him where he was going, really.
What was the crack? You mentioned the back post, the week of the back post. What was the crack there?
Yeah, so it was look at the diagonal, and we got a corner, and Andy takes it, Andy then swings it, and Peruzzi, he ends up punching it, and it goes to the right-hand side of the box, where I'm roughly kind of patrolling that defensive bit. And I knew there was Dortmund jerseys at the back post. Didn't know who it was, whether it was Carla, Riedler or Jürgen Kohler, whoever. But I just remember the ball coming in, and the way we lined up with the corner, I knew if I hit the diagonal and I hit it right, we could get on the end of it. And without, I seen it at the corner, you know yourself being a footballer, you know what's run about you without even lifting your head, you know. And I just put it through my laces. I didn't, see if I bent it, there's no way it was going to go where it went. It's because I hit it flush with my laces that it just went straight. But Riedler does the hardest thing. He's got to pull it down his chest and then score. But that was in my head. Soon I went to cross that diagonal because he'd told me the night before.
Visualised it.
Look for the diagonal.
What were he like, Deschamps? Because he looks a little twat, doesn't he? Arrogant little fucking thing, doesn't he?
It never goes away. It was probably a brilliant foil for Zidane.
They wanted to sign you when he left, didn't they? Deschamps.
He left, yeah. He was going to, I got a call. Never forget that. I got a call in the car, driving in Autobahn, and got a call after the final saying, would you come? And I says, no. I said, I'm quite happy in Dortmund. But that happened after that final. That changed the whole perception, everything really. I could have went anywhere, Spain, Italy, anywhere. I could have went to India. I thought, nah, I don't need to leave here.
So all the big clubs in the world will have been after you.
Aye, I could have went. Part of England. But the European scene, I could have had my choice. But I didn't want to leave Dortmund because of what I had there. I loved it there. I loved the city. Loved the support. The support loved you. And that was, for me, was the key to it. And
did it ever get too much? Could you go out in the city and stuff? And
what was great at that time was, see, if you were eating your dinner, the fans would recognise who you were, but they'd always wait until you finished before coming up for a picture or an autograph. And they would always call you Mr. Lambert. It was never like, where you get up in Glasgow, hey, Lambert, going to sign that? Do you know what I mean? If you don't sign it. So, but I never ever felt that with them. I just felt like they gave you your space.
Respect for your privacy.
No, they gave you that. But the culture was different. The culture was different for what it was in Britain. But I loved the culture of it because it was a great country to live in, a great place to play your football. If you could handpick any club in the world to go and play in front of that crowd, would be that one, just because of the size of it and what it is and what it is now. You could probably put another 4 tiers in that stadium and fill it.
Because it was Wim Janssen. He was Celtic manager. Did you speak to him before? Did he ask you to sign for them?
He did. He asked me. Scotland played Belarus up in Pretoria in a qualifier because Hampden was getting renovated. And I don't know how he done it. Wim Janssen got into the Aberdeen boot room. And I was just tidying up my boots before the game.
He locked the door?
Aye, he did. So he did. He locked the door. And he went, would you sign for Celtic? I went, no. So I don't need it. I don't want to move. I'm fine. He said, I want to try and sign you. And I went, thanks very much, no. But I knew Wim Janssen was. I knew he was an unbelievable player, and I knew the Dutch team that he played with, and I knew everything about him. I said, no thanks. I'm quite happy.
I know things happened with, was your little one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he wasn't well, and we thought, what do we do? Do we go back or do we not? Made a choice. I went to Mr. Meyer, who obviously done a contract with the guy. I said, Mr. Meyer, I said, this is going to kill me here. I said, but I'm going to have to go back because my son's not keeping too good. And he said, Paul, we'll do everything we can to help you and bring the families over. I said, that's not the point. I said, he needs to go back. And we thought we would go back. Anyway, Celtic done a deal with the club. At my last game against Parma, the club said, you have to go and tell the support you're leaving because of the affiliation I had with them. And I went, so I think I'd done a bit of TV saying, I'm sorry, I have to go back. And I thought, we're playing Parma the night the night after. So I told the support I was leaving, and I thought, this is a nightmare. The whole thing's a nightmare. Anyway, we're beating Parma 1-0 in the Champions League game. The next thing is we get a penalty and the fans start singing for me to hit it. And I went, fuck that. I said, no way am I fucking hitting that. I said, fucking Andy, fucking hit that. Fucking get us 2-0 and then I can leave on a win. And Andy scores. Buffon was in goals. He was a young guy at that time. And but about 15 minutes before the game was going to finish, I heard the crowd all singing, Paul Lambert, You'll Never Walk Alone. And it got louder and louder. So I heard 15 minutes to go, and I fucking Jesus. Next thing, all the banners got up in the yellow, you see the yellow wall, Paul, good luck, or please don't go, and things like that, and I was like, that's sick.
Have you, in this media, have you explained the reasons for you leaving, or have you kept that private?
No, I told them. No, everybody knows. The club knew, the support knew, everybody knew. I felt that was the way I wanted to leave them, because I didn't want them thinking I was leaving through just leave you. That wasn't the case, because it was a club that I don't think would ever leave you because of what it gave me, and hopefully you gave a bit back to it. So I saw all these banners going up, don't leave, and then after the game, nobody left the stadium. So I started to walk in, and the press guy said, Paul, go back out. You have to go back out in front of the yellow wall and acknowledge him. So I went back out, and the crowd I seen that in the yellow wall, they were crying, people crying and that, and I was like, Jesus, what am I doing here? What are you doing? So I came back in, and the press guy said, you need to go back out, they're still no leaving. So I never forget, I got a coat, and I stood in front of the yellow wall, and he started to sing Walk On, and I thought, wow, Jesus. And then I thought, I nearly did a tear myself. I thought, I need to go back in here. This is ridiculous. I goes back into the dressing room, and I've got to sign the release kind of thing. About midnight, Mr. Mayer says, don't sign it, don't go, please. We're asking you to go. And I said, Mr. Mayer, I'm sorry, I have to go. And then I went back to my car, and there was hundreds at my car, and they draped banners over my car and that, don't go, and things like that. It was terrible time. And then I flew to Glasgow the next day, and then I signed, and then for about 2 months at Celtic, I was absolutely hopeless. I was hopeless.
You must have had some season, by the way, wouldn't you?
It was unbelievable. Honestly,
obviously, I know you've won the Champions League, but you must have been incredible.
The impact it was. It was funny, I was over there a few months ago, and the club asked me to go to the members club, which is like, let's say, an AGM thing. And I'm just sitting there, kind of at the front, and Aki Vatska said, I'm happy to see Paul Lambert. It's always great to see Paul. The whole room just went, I went, bloody, 20 odd years ago I played here, but they never forget. And then it was just a massive, Jesus, Paul Lambert's here. And everybody stood up and clapped and roared and things like that.
Mesmeric, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was it one of them, when you said you were shy for the first 2 months, was it just deflated? Obviously, you have done the right thing, whichever way you look at it, for your little one, but was it still, for me, I'm struggling to get going?
Oh, massively, Browny, massively. The emotion of that was I couldn't get it out of my head. Honestly, I think I lost my first 2 games at Celtic. So first game was against Rangers. Vim put me on the bench because of what happened against Parma. Second game was against, I think, Motherwell. We lost 2-0. And I thought, Jesus. I was walking out at Celtic Park, my first home game. And Celtic, obviously, it's a massive season for them. You talk about pressure, unbelievable pressure because of the 10-in-a-row thing. And this woman shouted there, she said, Lambert, you're a fucking jinx. We've lost 2 games since you've been here. So, here we go. Welcome to Glasgow again. So, but I knew the pressure and the magnitude that was going to happen at Celtic. I knew that was an absolute powder keg.
Without being too sentimental, do you think at that period your heart's still in?
Oh, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000% it was. That couldn't, I think if that never affected me, then I think I've even questioned myself, thinking, you must be a right cold-blooded bastard because fucking no emotion here. So they've questioned myself on that, but what the Dortmund fans done that night, I've never experienced anything like that in my life, really, that support behind it. And then you come back to Celtic and things don't go great the first few games, you think,
what have I done?
Oh, you think, well, what have you done? And plus, we ain't winning games here. And you think Rangers are on the verge of can get this 10 in a row, and that would be catastrophic time at that time.
Do you know before when you were saying at Dortmund, you had the belief that nobody was you were gonna play no matter what?
Yeah.
Didn't he leave you out? Did he leave out the cup final, Janssen?
He left.
It was a big game.
Yeah, no, we were playing Dundee United. It wasn't long after I joined, and I wasn't performing. And we were down at Cameron House one night, and I went, fucking got to see him. I'm going to see the manager. So Vim's in his room and knocked his door. I said, can I have a word with you, boss? He went, yeah. I said, what is it? I said, see if you're thinking about playing me in the cup final. I said, don't. And he went, what do you mean? He went, I'm telling you, don't play me. Play Morton Vicos and Craig Burley. I said, I'm not good enough to play in your team at the minute. Leave it. I said, because they two lads have been playing really well. I said, I'm not good enough. And I said, I'm not performing. I said, but just give me a few more games, and then I'll give you kind of problem to put me in. He says, thanks for that, Paul. I'll speak to you in the morning. And I walked out, and he never played me. So I knew it was the right choice, but I knew that was the right decision to make. Because I wasn't performing.
Some decision to make.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, but it was easy for me because that's where I say the whole Dortmund thing changed my whole perception of football and my whole life, really. I played in probably...
Scottish Cup, innit? Champions League.
You fucking disrespectful bastard.
You're talking. You're talking. You've won the massive one everybody wants.
Yeah.
And there's been great players who've never got nowhere near it, and I'm lucky enough to have done it. But the thing with Celtic, what Celtic does for you, you probably go from really mentally strong to unbelievably strong. Because you have to win every game with Celtic. It doesn't matter who you play, whether you play Barcelona or Man United. Celtic is a club where that ingrains you, we're winning because of what's happened in the history of it. So Celtic is a really difficult club to play for. If you don't perform and you don't get a result, it can swallow you.
When did it change for you then?
The New Year's game when we beat Rangers, when I scored, that flipped the coin because we beat Rangers too. That was a must-win game. See, if you never win that, we'll never come out of Parkhead at that time. There's no chance because Rangers would have won it. We wouldn't have got anywhere near it. But the 2-0 game, we beat them 2-0 at Parkhead. That's when it changed.
Was there a bit of ankle in that? Did it hit the bubble? It sat up nicely, didn't it? There was a bit of shin/ankle.
Browny, you're meaning that as if it was one of your shots there. He's actually...
It's Rich coming from the prolific Brown, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Is that Ronaldo we're sitting across here?
Fucking Cristiano Brown here.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the Brazilian now.
I think you said shanked.
That a bobble?
Yeah,
this is a guy that I fucking had to play as well to keep me in a job. So it
was never going to end well. It wasn't.
No, I never hit a bobble, right? As you call it. It sat up nicely and I thought, I can swing this one. But I've cut across it. No one went, you have to cut across it. Because I knew if I had it straight, I think Andy was going to save it. Because the way Gorham was playing that night, it was unbelievable. Andy Gorham. And I've just cut across it, and I've seen it. As soon as I left my foot, I thought, well, that's got a chance, that. And then it's obviously hit the post and went in. And I knew when that went in, then we were back in the race, really. Because if we'd lost that, there's no way we were winning that league.
Where does that compare to the Schalke Dortmund?
The Old Firm. Oh, listen, the Old Firm is unique. I heard Dan's Postecoglou saying this in an interview the other day. It's probably one of the derbies, all derbies, that one, because of what it is and what it stands for. You have to be so tough in it with your brain with it. You have to be prepared to take the criticism that comes your way. You have to take the praise when it comes with it. But it's a mother of all derbies just because of what it stands for. It's a derby where, I mean, going back a few years, I would see tackles going throat height and it'd be legal. You know what I mean? Like, well, that's Old Firm for you. Do you know what I mean? This is what it is. And the hostility between the two of them and the way the fans are with each other. It's a brilliant game. Don't get me wrong, an absolute brilliant game. But if you lose it, it might not be so brilliant for you.
Would you say you felt more pressure on that New Year's Day in the Old Firm derby than you did the previous May in the Champions League final?
Same.
So that's
same.
The levels of it.
Because of what the history of the club was for Celtic. You're talking protecting a legacy, the Lisbon Lions. Number one, the Lisbon Lions will never be beat by Celtic unless Celtic go and win the European Cup again. They'll never be beat. Jimmy Johnston, Stevie Chan, all them guys, Jim Craig, Dave, all them guys, brilliant footballers. It would never be done in a radius of 30 odd miles, and everybody being Scottish. So it would never have been done. So you're protecting that legacy of the great Jock Stein, 9 in a row. And Jesus, if we'd lost that Sayre history away. So the pressure of that's why I say the pressure of that was monumental. Not just for the Celtic support, but for the Lisbon Lions guys as well, which was so important.
Did it go at the wire? What
Yeah,
was
last day.
Did it?
Last day of the season. We actually trained on the Thursday at Parkhead, and we were hopeless, absolutely hopeless. And lads were fighting, kicking each other, arguing. And I'll never forget, Vim blew his whistle and said, just go home. He said, you're not ready. You're not ready to win the league. That was on the Thursday. He said, not ready to win the league. Just go home, we'll see you Friday. And Friday we came back in and we were bang at it. But we knew Rangers were winning because there was no noise coming from Tannadice. When Henrik scores, it calms everybody down. And then the second goal goes in, then that's it. It's finished.
So what? Did he leave the following season, Janssen?
He left 1 year, 1 year. He had enough. He told us in Portugal that he was leaving. And we went back to square one here. After you just won the title, you expect to try and kick on a little bit. Yeah. Never happened. It just never happened for us.
Is that because the new manager didn't get backed, or was the players not good enough that were there, or was the manager not good enough? Was it Venglos that came in?
Yeah. Joseph came in, and who was a really top guy, a nicer guy you couldn't meet. And Joseph came in. I think Celtic was too much pressure for him because he came in at an older age. Joseph, what Joseph did do brilliant was bring Moravcik to us. Moravcik was, you couldn't tell what Moravcik's strong foot was. Both feet. Honestly, he was brilliant with both feet, and he signed him, and then Lubo gave us some brilliant times at Celtic. But I think that job at Celtic was excruciating for Joseph at that time. But to be fair, we beat Rangers 5-1 in Lubo's debut. So that bought a wee bit of time, but I think it was a job too much for him.
And then was it the same for Barnes?
I don't. Do you know? It's funny that because Kenny and that was at Celtic at that time. Kenny and Terry Mack came up.
What was Kenny's role? Was it more as a advisor?
I think sort of
to John.
Yeah, I think so. Kenny was brilliant. Kenny, I know Kenny pretty well, and he's a brilliant football guy. And to be fair, I got on well with John. I never had any problems with John at all. Whether, I don't know what he thought coming up from Liverpool to Glasgow. I don't know. But to be fair, we started the season really, really well. We were like, 8 or 9 unbeaten, going through it. I broke my metatarsal under him. Heineke broke his leg. Probably the kind of bigger players were injured at a time where he probably never needed that. And I think obviously the straw that broke the camel's back was when Celtic lost to Inverness, when it really did kick off. And then that was John's last game.
Because you're saying how big a job it is, and Joseph struggled like folk. And then you're getting somebody for the first job in management.
That's why I say Celtic's a unique club. There's no in between with Celtic, I think. That you're either top or you may as well just be bottom. There's no in between because the club indicates that you have to win games and you have to be strong to take it. I haven't a clue what it's like to manage it. I can imagine it, but I know what it's like as a player. But you have to win every game and you have to play at a level where the support think, yeah, you're good enough to wear the shirt. I've seen some players shrink with it just because of how heavy it is. But if you get it right there, then what a place to play.
Martin O'Neill was the right man to follow up to turn things back around again.
Martin was brilliant. I think if you go back, even if Celtic fans to this day, Martin O'Neill era was unbelievable. I mean, we were relentless at that time. And he built a team into, obviously Rangers were so far ahead at that point before he came in. And he turned it on its head. Because Rangers were a good side at that time as well. They had a right good side. Rangers were strong, they were powerful. And the gaffer turned it around.
Is it all man management? We had James Collins on a few weeks ago, obviously had him at Villa. And he'd talk about how he wasn't necessarily involved in training and everything, but man management, knowing how to deal with players.
Yeah, he suffered no fools. I mean, you knew when the gaffer came into training that he was in. You know,
Yeah.
you could walk by him in the corridor and he would say morning, he'd walk by him next day and he wouldn't say, maybe there's a bit of clough in there, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there is, maybe there's not. But I think he was different, the gaffer, you know.
We're speaking about the managers you played on, and it's Otmar and whoever, which are the managers, by the first name, but then he's the gaffer. Do you still call him the gaffer?
Yeah. Still call him gaffer. I've never called him Martin, to be fair. You know, I don't think I've ever done call him Martin.
Even now?
No, even now, no. I wouldn't call him Martin. No. I think it's just out of respect as well. You know, I think that's important. I think that's.
Did you appreciate him giving you the time off? Because we've had a few players who's played for him, and if you won Saturday, there's every chance you're off till Thursday, isn't there?
It was unbelievable. I mean,
it obviously worked.
It was even when he read out the team. He used to come into the dressing room at 2:00, read out the team on a bit of paper and walk back out, and you think, am I playing? I just heard my name there.
That's how we felt when you were reading the team.
Right. I know, so it gives you that really subconscious of, okay, am I playing? We used to say to Robbo, am I playing? And you say, what system am I playing? He went, just fucking play. You fucking know how to play. You're asking me how to play. And he was right, because you think about it, they're all international players at Celtic at that time. Nearly all of us were all international players. If I think they viewed it as if they had to tell you where to play, fucking, you shouldn't be there.
Did you know when you went into management, did you know that you were going to take all these things from O'Neill? Because even the clubber, the rugby top and that.
I loved it. Do you know, I loved it. I didn't want to wear a suit. I hated ties and things like that. I didn't want to be in a suit, because I knew I was too emotionally involved when I was younger. Like, still with the game, you still think, okay, you're in about that sort of feeling of jumping about like a maniac. And I didn't want to wear a suit and things like that. I just wanted to wear something casual that I'd feel comfortable with. And football boots and that still made me feel comfortable. Maybe a bit different now if I'd done it. A bit different. But at that time, I didn't. What I tend to do is I took great things away for great managers. Whether it was only 1 or 2 or 3, 4 things, you take the little great things, but ultimately you do what you think's right for yourself.
How much of management do you think is down to coaching and man management? You know, the difference of managing players, like O'Neill, just kind of let his staff get on with it.
Yeah.
You know, when you went into your roles, did you, because I remember you come to Blackburn and you taking a lot of the sessions.
Yeah. I think that when I left Aston Villa, I made the point, I'm going to travel Europe to see all different managers. So I went away for about a few months. I went to see Carlo at Real Madrid his first time. I went to see Pep at Bayern, Jurgen at Dortmund at the time, a guy called Roger Schmidt, who's at Benfica now, because Roger had a really good team at Leverkusen. So I went to see a lot of managers that I thought, I'm going to see what these guys can do, you know.
Sorry to interrupt. Why did you decide? Did you decide to do that because you felt the game was changing from the experience you'd had with Martin O'Neill and Otmar?
I just think
did you feel like you needed to see what the other big managers
I
are
want
doing
to see what the big managers do. Yeah, I want to see
current managers.
Yeah, if they're good enough. You tend to find all the top managers were really nice, really top guys, and you could ask them anything you want and things like that. So that was Carlo Ancelotti was brilliant with me when I went to Madrid, and I'd never met him before. I just took an off chance that he could get in, and
What, you just turned up?
no, I emailed him. Emailed him through the LMA. And Carlo said to me, he said, the only thing I ask you to really do here is have lunch with me, watch training, have a tour in the training ground and things like that, and just have lunch, and you can ask me anything you want. Sure enough, after training, you go up and have lunch. Sat with him, ask him questions about the great Milan team that he played with and all these sort of things. And he said, can I ask you before you start, really? He said, what happened to Aston Villa? I went, I was trying to chase my tail, really. Try to play 4 at the back, 3 at the back, try to get a result. And he says, why do you do that? I said, just try to get that result. He said, you'll just confuse yourself. And he was right. I thought, you're absolutely spot on. I was confused myself. You're just trying to catch a result and you can't get one. And he said, listen, he said, so to make you at ease, right? He said, I've been in the game a long time. He said, I've been sacked from Parma, AC Milan, Juventus, PSG, Chelsea. He said, I've virtually been sacked for everywhere. I thought, bloody, so you have. He's probably the greatest manager that's walked the earth at the minute because of what he's won. But if you look at the things he's been sacked, not through just being successful, maybe not getting on with people or anything like that. if you look at his trophy count, I think he's the most successful trophy manager in world football, Carlo Ancelotti. But when he said that to him, I thought, yeah, that's true. He says, so don't worry about getting sacked. Everybody gets it. And I thought, that's bloody, what great advice that is. Because I thought, when you get sacked, you go dead down and you go thing me.
And was you initially?
Yeah, because nobody wants it. No, you don't want it. Don't care what anybody says. But then you think, well, this guy's telling me who's the greatest manager that's walked along with him. That they get it, and he's right up there with the top. I thought, yeah, great
so
advice.
he bounced back from it.
Yeah,
obviously he's bounced back from all those.
He's brilliant. He's absolutely fantastic.
I want to ask about the Colchester and Norwich situation.
Yeah,
because Gunny took over back end of the Championship season at Norwich.
Mm-hmm.
And then first game in League One was against Colchester, who you were in charge of. Colchester 7, Norwich 0, 7-1.
7-1, I think it was, wasn't it? 7-1.
The next week, you're in the Norwich dugout.
Do you know what, Browny? It was, we went to Colchester and it was a roasting hot day that day. I'll never forget that. And I'm oblivious to what I'm going into because I don't know it. Would it intimidate me, the crowd? No. 25,000 people there. People used to say to me it was a sleepy kind of club, you know, and that never really dawned on me until I saw a picture. When I was there, somebody showed me a picture, and I think I was in the dugout. I think we were playing Sunderland, and I think Steve Bruce was the manager of Sunderland at the time, and there was behind the dugout there was obviously the fans at Norwich, and people used to say it was sleepy at Norwich, and I thought, I seen two fans, there was a guy and a woman, and they were fucking like that. And the flow, okay, this is why it's sleeping. So I never thought nothing of Norwich. And then the lads went down there and I thought, okay, 1-0, 2-0, 3. And I remember looking at the clock and went, fuck, it's 5-0, it's 20 minutes gone here. I went, this is madness, this. It could have been more in the first half of it. So we get to half time, I said to the lads, listen, don't think it's finished because it's no perfect. I said, they could get, for you've got 5, they could get 5 quite easily. The second half 6, then it was 6-1, then it went to 7-1. I think we missed a couple of chances at the beginning. Honestly, if somebody said to me it could have been 9, you said, yeah, that was feasible. But never thought nothing of it. And then it was 2 or 3 weeks later, I think we were sitting at the top of the league, Colchester after about 3 games, and then Robbie Cowling said to me Norwich had come in.
With the crowd, you know, in that game, had the crowd gone? We're Gunny at this point.
Yeah, there was a couple of fans that ran on the pitch. I think through their season books at Brian, you know.
On the first game?
Aye, first game.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, first game they threw their season books, I think. But at that time I thought they were coming for me. At that time, so I thought, fuck, these two guys are coming for me. But they ran by me, and went, thank fuck for that. and they went for Brian, you know. So, but I never thought nothing of it. I just thought, well, okay, that's football, you know. That's the way it works.
Because in my head I thought, you've gone upstairs and
got touted in the bar.
Made eye contact with Delia. So in a couple of weeks.
She was brilliant. She was brilliant to work for. Really was. Her and Michael, there was 3 of them there. Delia, Michael, her husband, and Michael Folger were brilliant when I was there. They were really, really good. And I had no one bad word about Norwich. It was a brilliant. Listen, as I said to you, it was about the players. The players that I had really top guys in it who got on well. They had nights out together. They had a great spirit together. You played in dressing rooms where if the team spirit's great, it's really enjoyable. If it's not, it becomes a problem. But the spirit, what they had, they were absolutely brilliant.
You put the ginger pelly in any dressing room, it's a good dressing room.
That was Gary, innit? Is it Gary?
Gary Dock.
Gary, aye. Who I bombed out with West Fulham in the first few games when we went to Norwich because I didn't think they were fit enough. And we brought them back. And 2 were brilliant in League One. Houlihan went on to be brilliant. I think I let Gary go. It might be in the Championship year, I think. We let Gary go. But in League One, he was excellent for us. I was getting him at the tail end. He's probably his career. But Houlihan went on to, be brilliant for us.
Because I think I was there probably 2 years before, and there was lads probably on the way out. Like Simon Lappin.
Yeah.
I know Semibor came.
Yeah, John.
Semi played.
Yeah.
Gary Dock.
Yeah. Right.
What did you do to make them, 2 years later, You got 2 promotions, basically.
I think it was just the man management of them and getting them on side. All I really said to them, just train the way you play. If you can do that, then it's going to be more enjoyable for you. If you take training and it's slow and it's lethargic, you'll play like that. But if you train like that, high intensity stuff, you'll break the back of it, because I think you've got the better squad in the league. And I said that in the first day when I went in. I said, you'll win the league. That was the biggest lot of bollocks I think I've ever said to anybody. So it was. That was
more bollocks than when you said, well done you today for that 30 minutes.
Browny's my second one. And then they grab it and they think, well, he thinks we can win the league. And all of a sudden, it was 3 years of relentless that, you know. They were great, but the whole club was good.
What was the initial pull from Colchester to Norwich? Was it the size of the club, the budgets that were available to?
No, it certainly wasn't the budget thing, because I think Norwich were in a bit of a ropey financial situation at that time. If it wasn't for Delia, Norwich would have been closed. Yeah. If it wasn't for Delia, and so it wasn't the money. It was probably the fan base that gives you that wee 25,000 every week you're getting here, because I don't think there's too much more to do in Norwich other than go and watch football, really. Yeah. So I think that gave us a wee, let's go and see if we can do a bigger club. And then all of a sudden, it just, for some reason, it just went like that.
One thing I remember, you'd be in the freezer, so you probably wouldn't make a squad for 3 weeks in a row. But you know for a fact that come Saturday you could be playing. You'd just chuck people in from nowhere, wouldn't you?
Aye, because I think that's. I think as a manager, you have to trust everybody that you can rely on, that will do your job for you. And I always think there's that man management side of it, to go, right, listen, I know you've not played for a while, or try and talk to you that why you're not playing. I think that was always kind of why I kept everybody on side, was try and tell them why you're not playing. I think that was important for everybody, rather than... It's funny, I was listening to an interview of Jurgen Klopp the other week there, and he says that the 11 people that play love you, the ones that are on the bench like you, and the ones that don't play can't stand you for a week, because it might be role reversal come the following week. So I think the key to it, when you have so many people, is try to keep them on side and try to keep them happy to an extent of, you can't play everybody. That's the nature of the beast. But you have to try and manage them.
Do you know when you got that second promotion out of the Championship, were the bigger clubs coming for you then? Could you have left and moved on then? You know, because you had that year in the Prem when you did really well.
Yeah.
But the season before, on that promotion, could you have jumped or not?
It's funny you saying that. Deep in myself, I should have left after they got promoted to the Championship. I should have left. I was tired.
From the Championship?
Yeah, I should have left. I shouldn't have done a year in the Premier League. I shouldn't have done it. I should have left. And
did well though.
I done great, the lads, but I remember sitting in the flat and I said, I don't enjoy this anymore, you know.
Just personally?
Yeah, I don't enjoy it, and I don't know if I've got it in me to go again in the Premier League. And then somebody said to me, why don't you give yourself one crack at it to see if you can do it? And that kind of changed my mind.
That's a really really strange mindset to be in. That the first crack at managing in the Premier League.
Yeah, but I never found it. It was an easy thing for me, that, because it was never about me. It was about the players, really, and the players deserved the chance. For me, it didn't bother me whether I was going into it or not. And it's I just thought, I'm tired of this now. I don't need this in my life. Do I want to go on again and have that same things? So I understand how people get tired of it. And how they...
Are you thinking like management in general, or just
that time? That could have been any club, whether I had the success or not. It was the lads that made me want to go one more year. But in my own back of my mind, I thought, after we got them up in the Championship, that's when I should have left. Because I wasn't enjoying football at that time. I wasn't enjoying it, and I wasn't enjoying the whole side of it. And I thought, do I really want this anymore? You know?
That's a strange mindset, in the fact that you're not enjoying it and you've just got back-to-back promotions.
Yeah.
If you're not enjoying it when that happened,
that's right. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it, and I should have left. That's what I should have done. I should have left then and let somebody else take it on and had a go at the Premier League. But it's a bit daft, isn't it? But
because you've finished 15th, like above it. Was it 15th? I think in the Premier?
12th, joint 12th.
So
I think.
Could anybody else have done a better job? So it's obviously just a personal.
I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. People find that strange, but I never enjoyed my last time there. You know, I never enjoyed it, and even though I had some great times there, really good times, but I never enjoyed it. That's when I should have left at that time.
Because there's rumours of you falling out with people, falling out with the board and stuff when you left eventually. Was that anything behind that?
There was never any real animosity of anything really. That's why I should have left that year we got the championship, because I think the Premier League does, it changes things, you know, it changes what you had, that pure togetherness thing, and it changes, you start to become a monster, and I didn't want that. I didn't want it, you know, that was me, but I thought, well, the lads, maybe they need it, the players needed it, because they earned the right to be there. For me, I never viewed getting into the Premier League as a massive success for myself. It was for the club and the players that done it.
This sounds really simplistic, but would you much prefer to be managing a team fighting for promotion, or from League One Championship, or managing in the Premier League?
Surviving.
It's a good point. No, it's a really good point. And do you know, it's funny you saying that, because I had this conversation with somebody a few weeks ago, but my whole mindset was around winning. And I hate that mediocrity, you're sitting mid-table and everybody thinks it's great. Yeah. I hated that feeling of people say, it's like Champions League football now, top four get in. And people say that's a great success. I don't view that. I see winning the title success, trophies a success, picking up a trophy success. But people say, oh, we finished 4th, 5th or 6th, or we're in Europe. Yeah, for me, that doesn't register with me, because I was always used to winning trophies. When that never wasn't there, I hated it, the trophy thing. I never viewed like 4th as being a success. I never viewed 12th as being a success, because I always wanted to have that feeling of winning. But that was me.
Did you feel that kind of took, because that's your job then, I'm assuming the mantra of the season is survival, and that's your goal.
Yeah, survive.
Because I saw a quote that you said, the FA Cup's a distraction.
Yeah.
And then that's going against your personal mantra there. But that's your target, it's a distraction. You want to be winning.
Yeah.
Those things.
It's funny, because I remember at Aston Villa when I got asked the question about, we played an FA Cup tie. I said, listen, if you asked any manager to stay in the Premier League or try and win the FA Cup, I say Premier League all day long, because it keeps the clubs surviving financially. It's the biggest league in the world. The FA Cup will be, it'll be great for a short time. And then obviously, look at Wigan. They won the FA Cup and they get into League One, whereas teams are in the Premier League. So I changed a few players, and Aston Villa fans went mad with that, right? Which I totally get. But I think Big Sam done it. He went with West Ham to Forest, and I think lost quite heavily. Sam changed his team to keep West Ham in the league, which they done. And you think, well, everybody else thinks the same of it. The Premier League was the be all and end all.
Nobody's saying it.
Yeah. But basically.
So what a tough decision to take that Villa job then.
I shouldn't have done it, yeah.
You know, if they finished 16th this previous season, there's no chance you're going to win fuck all, is there?
Not really. Listen, I knew that a few weeks I was into the job, because I knew the owner was going to sell it. And I was like, shit, Jesus, he's going to sell this. Because I tried to get players to the club that I thought, because I spoke to Lukaku when we first went in there, and we virtually agreed a deal with Chelsea on loan. He was only a kid at the time, he was only 19 at the time. And I spoke to him, and he said, great, no problem, I'll come. And then we couldn't do it. Then we went, why can Aston Villa not do this deal? It's a big club. And then all of a sudden, down the line, the owner's is going to sell it. So you had to cut the wage bill, and you had to let players go, all those sort of things. And thinking, this is not what I want to do here. This is not what I want to do. But you hang in thinking you're going to change it. Deep down, I knew it was borrowed time. Didn't think it was going to be fucking long as that, right enough, but fucking 2.5 years I was there. So
like that fucking the way it's Any fucking what Randy?
Right, yeah.
Any fucking chance, Randy?
It's funny. I remember I was talking to Walter Smith, God rest him as well, And I've met Walter up at St George's Park, you know, and I'd been sacked for Aston Villa, and Walter said, Paul, you got a minute? I went, aye. He said, how did you feel when you get sacked for Aston Villa? I went, Walter, I was fucking delighted. Fucking over the moon. He said, funny you saying that, Paul. He said, when I was at Everton, he said, fucking Archie Knox, I think Archie was up in Everton or something, and Everton were getting rid of Walter at the time. And I think Walter goes to meet Everton, and something like this anyway, goes to meet Everton, and Archie's waiting on the phone for a phone call to see what's happening. And Walter goes to meet Everton, and Archie's not heard anything for about 8 hours. He's thinking, what's going on with this meeting? Walter phones him up, says, Archie, we've just been sacked. And Archie says, you're fucking beauty, Walter, let's go. So you get that relief. You think, fucking, I need to go out of this. And you needed the honour to do it. And honestly, I had a unicycle and everything, fucking going about the place and juggling. I was delighted. I couldn't wait to get out. Could not wait to get out, because I knew what was happening, and I knew there was no help forthcoming. And you're taking it. You're taking the.
And was the reality very different from when you took the job in terms of what you've been told?
100%. 100%. Because you expect to go to Aston Villa, you're thinking, yeah, this is.
Is it as simple as being told we're going to get this much to spend, and then the reality starts?
The reality started to come in when I tried to get Lukaku with it, and I thought, this is a loan deal, we can't do it. You think, and all of a sudden it starts to go down, and then Benteke came and virtually saved us in that first year or so, because his goals were incredible for us.
Thing is, you're not getting back from the board, so your hands are tied. You need a good dressing room, pulling in the right direction. I always got the impression that wasn't the case at Villa before your time and probably after your time.
No,
did you know that straight?
Oh, I knew
you
that.
recognise that?
You could recognise that within a millisecond, what was going on. You know what I mean? But
Splits.
Without a doubt, yeah. You could see it wasn't in sync.
I read as well that, did you play the youngest ever Premier League 11?
I think so, yeah.
Was that part of like what you was?
That was part of the Operation Pay Me Up scale. Doing the 14s in fucking give them a go, lads.
No, but was it that you have got the disjointed dressing room and let's give the young lads with a bit of fire go and see if we can turn it around that way?
Because I knew that I had to get the wage bill now. I knew that was a must because of what was happening, and I thought, dear, I'm going to leave out some real good experienced players here. So we had to do it because of what was happening behind the scenes, which I don't mind. I don't mind owners selling clubs, but as long as you know, when you think, wow, and then you're getting stick for about 40,000, you think, well, you can't really come out and say anything because, they're your employees.
Is there any specific player that you could say throughout your career that's proved you wrong the most, in terms of maybe you didn't think they had the fire in the belly and they've turned it around? Adam
Wilbraham I took from MK Dons. I remember signing him from MK Dons. He's probably a bit of stature of yourself. The only difference is he could score goals for me.
You've been waiting, haven't you? You've been waiting to get, since I said the ankle.
Bobble.
I hit that bobble. And I signed Big Albie from MK Dons for, I think it was about 80,000, you know. And I remember the Norwich people, that's a joke, and I was saying somebody 80,000 and all those sort of things. And I always remember saying, I thought, I hope you stick it up, people here, when you're here. Never told him that, but in my own head was just perform and do what I bought you for. And the reason I bought Albie was because every team I managed, he always scored against me. And it always stuck in my head for some reason that this fucking big guy always scores against me. And when he came available, I thought, wasn't he the most finesse, wasn't it? But I'll tell you what a man he was in the dressing room. He was absolutely brilliant. And if I could have 20 odd a day types, which I very nearly did at Norwich, it's worth your weight in gold. He was one of the guys I thought, just stuff up a few people that doubted you, you know. And he was probably about the best pound for pound. So I bought him for about 80,000.
Do you sign some players based on how good they're going to be in that dressing room? I'm just thinking, Grant Holt, was he 34 when he arrived at Wolves?
It's funny because I spoke to some great managers, and I remember saying to them, what do you look for in a player? And a lot of them say, if you give me somebody with pure hard work and really good ability, I'll take it all day long. You give me an absolute genius who's an absolute idiot and a maniac and causes forget it. And I get that, 100% get that. I would rather take the good guy and somebody who wants to go week in, week out for you, rather than a maverick who's causing all ends of trouble. And you think, nah, that's not for me. So the more you can get of them good guys.
So I suppose it's the effect it's having on
everybody else.
Everybody else
yeah,
as well.
Everybody else. I mean, I think there's a story with Naby Keita in it, the Werder Bremen lad that refused to travel with the team against Leverkusen. The club just made the stance, well, if that's the case, you'll not train with us and you'll go and train with whatever, or you're getting fined and all that. Quite right. You cannot let the tail wag the dog. It's impossible.
No matter how good they are.
Yeah. You might have a Messi sitting there. What do you know what I mean? You might have somebody like that sitting there who's an absolute genius. You think, he can win his games, but if he's an absolute idiot of a person and he's causing ructions, that becomes a difficult part.
How'd you look back on your time at Stoke?
Loved it. Loved the club. Loved the time there. We had only 15 games to try and turn it around. It wasn't much. But we gave it a go. But that club was great. I really did enjoy it there. And it was just unfortunate the way things happened there, that we left and Stoke had a window change of bringing somebody else in. But I had no animosity to that one because it was a brilliant club and they were really nice people there. The fans were great with me. Even when I'm back with Ipswich, you get a good reception with it. It was really good. One or two ones there that you think, well, yeah, they would probably have to go at the end of the season. Like any club, you get that at any club that you try and move people on. But the time at Stoke I enjoyed that because it was a good club.
It's a difficult, specific task, that, isn't it? You know, it's like what kind of Allardyce has been tagged with now, and you've got 15 games, save the club.
Yeah.
And difficult to come in and change. You can't bring any players in. This is what you've got.
Yeah, that's it. The satisfaction of that probably, and you do stay up, would be great. But it's the long-term thing of, is this what you want to keep doing, is firefighting.
Yeah.
You get to the point and think, no, I've had enough of that. I ain't doing that.
Different type of management, really. Isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's different. When you take over some team that's near the bottom and you're trying to rescue it, it's a different
Obviously
kettle
something
of fish.
fundamentally wrong at the football club, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like the players are not good enough, or they're arseholes, or...
Well, that's it. They wouldn't be sitting where they are if they were any good.
Some names in that squad as well, weren't there? Were they?
Stoke.
Yeah.
See, the top guys were brilliant. Peter Crouch, Glenn, Ryan, Shawcross, great guys. They were all really top guys. Never had a problem with them. There's one or two there a bit different, but that's what you get at clubs. But they weren't like major bad guys with it, you know what I mean? But the good guys, I've got to say, top, absolute top guys.
Shaqiri?
Shaq was there, yeah. Aye.
Is he fat?
Is he fat?
No, is he fat?
No, he looks like a little dump truck, doesn't he? He looks like a little fatty, doesn't he?
A
Little barrel.
talented boy, really talented boy, Shaq, and he could open doors for you the way he played at certain times. Not fat, I wouldn't say that. Smallish guy.
You know, he does look fat, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Good
footballer.
Yeah.
Aye, very good footballer. Couldn't argue with his talent. Yeah, very good.
Because I think somebody asked, was your team talks basically get it
Give
to
it
him?
to Shaq.
Is that as simple as that?
Get people on the ball that can make things happen for you. They need people running about you to help you. You know what I mean? So it's not just about Shaq or that, but the ones that can unlock the doors for you are so vital for you. I always like people that in the last third of the pitch can make things happen. Take the risk. But I don't know why I'm looking at you, Browny. but
You were the fucking hard worker. He's working hard. He's shit, but he's working hard.
How was your reception at Norwich? Did you go back to Norwich with Ipswich?
I did. Yeah, I got sent off. Do you know what? I got sent off. Yeah. Do you know what? The thing was with Norwich was Norwich were better than us, without a doubt. They had a better team. And I knew that. And we were going there and I thought, well, I need to provoke something here of trying to get the crowd and try and deflect away from the games. They were better than us at that. They had a stronger team. There was a tackle or something, I can't remember. And one of their bench jumped to it and I've got roped into it. And then a melee started and then the referee sends me off with it, you know what I mean? But I just thought that they're better than us. I need to distract something from this kind of game. you're basically playing with people's heads, really. That's what you're doing. Because I knew on paper we weren't a match for them. They were better than us.
Do you have any hesitation in taking that job? Because
Ipswich, yeah. Because of what happened at Norwich.
Yeah, like your legacy at Norwich.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way I'm welcome at Norwich. Don't matter what we've done. I've never been back. Oh, I tell you, Deal invited me back. Should I be little do at the club? Which, as I say, I never did anything with Dealey at all. I went back. I think that's the only time I've been back to Norwich, and considering what we've done. But that doesn't give me. I don't lose sleep over that. Not going back there, and did have trepidation taking that switch thing a little bit because of what happened in Norwich. But it was maybe 10 years later.
Yeah.
It was that different. If it had been 1 or 2 years later, I'd have said absolutely no. But I knew the team wasn't good enough to survive a championship. I could see that, and in League One, I wasn't sure there either, because I thought we needed a stronger team, because everybody would want to beat you because you're the bigger club in League One.
Yeah.
And then Paul Cook came in after me. Paul took over, and then obviously Paul left, and then I think the new owners came in when Paul was coming in, and obviously Ipswich are doing great and on the verge of coming up. But I did have that wee bit of, do I go or not? But after 10 years, then nah, not so much.
You ever had any phone call from Celtic at any point throughout your career?
To manage or anything like that? Do you know, I would never do it, even if I was asked.
Really?
No, I would never do it, because I had a brilliant time as a footballer, and I wouldn't want to tarnish that there. And I just think I don't need that in my life, where I go back there and ultimately it's going to happen. Everybody's different, but I didn't need that in my life of don't want to tarnish that. The answer to that would be no. Like, I go to Dortmund on Friday to watch the Dortmund Leverkusen game on Sunday, so I'm going there, and it's always great to go back, because you sit there and you look at the stadium, you look at the crowd and all that, you think, well, you're part of this. I always said to myself when I played there, I'm going to go in there and watch a game before I keel over. So I thought, right, I'm going to go. So I phoned the club over. The girl's name's Astrid. I said, Astrid, can I have a couple of tickets? She went, Paul, no problem. VIP and all that. I went, no. I want to go in the yellow wall. She thought I was joking. She went, really? I went, yeah, I want to go in there. And I went in there, and I swear to God, see if you need a piss or anything, you're going to have to do it down your leg, because you ain't moving. You ain't moving in there. Once you're stuck in that middle of that yellow wall, you ain't moving. Where you need the toilet or where you want to be in, you're jam-packed. And it bounces. The whole thing bounces. I went in there, and Marco scores 2 against Cologne. I was soaked in beer, cigarette ash, the smell of weed, unbelievable what was in that end. I went, wow, no wonder they're bouncing in here. This is brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. One of the best experiences I've ever had. I would recommend anybody to go in there and sit and stand in there, because it is relentless. And I've done it. And it was one of my bucket list of, I'm going to get in there.
One thing I wanted to ask was, I remember I was seeing it on Match of the Day when the game hadn't finished at Chelsea, and Mourinho's come over to you and keen to...
I knew he was going to do it.
Did you?
I knew. I said to Roy, I said, he's going to come over before the game's finished. Don't shake his hand. And he sure enough, he done it, Josie. And cause I knew it was coming. Because I seen him doing it maybe a few weeks.
He'd done it before, hadn't he?
Aye. So I knew that was coming. And I thought, I ain't shaking your hand.
So it was before the game had finished?
Yeah, Chelsea were the winner.
I think that, I can't remember the score, but they were beating us anyway, and I thought, he's going to come over and do this.
It is bad, isn't it?
You know what I mean?
To be fair though, he don't hold grudges, does he? Because he let you go to Munich on the tour. Did you say you went to see Mourinho at a club?
No, I never saw Josie.
He's never been at Bayern either.
And I would fucking play the blinder there and all, man. Thought I played a blinder. How did that come about, Rakeen?
With Roy.
Did you know him just from playing against?
I'll tell you, Roy's brilliant, and I think he's brilliant because he's a realist of the game, and he knows the pitfalls of it, being a manager. He knows exactly what it's like to have a dressing room, good or bad, doesn't matter, top player in his day. And I remember I don't know if I maybe managed Aston Villa or something, and we're losing. And I got a text out the blue, "Hi Paul, keep it going, keep it kind of nice text, you know, Roy. And I mean, so I phoned I text him back, say thanks very much. And then all of a sudden, don't know, we made contact with each other and invited him up, went up to his house, had a game of snooker with him, beat him at snooker, which was great. So done him at snooker and just having a chat. And then all of a sudden, I was looking for somebody to come in and give us a hand. I thought, I'm going to ask him, see if he wants to do it. And he says, I said, give you a hand. Brilliant. I never ever viewed Roy as somebody like what he was as a footballer and like that, because I know he was a great player. I didn't need that. But as a person, just to talk football or whatever, absolutely no worries whatsoever. Good guy, good ethos of what football is and the realism of it. He doesn't try and sugarcoat it, as everybody knows, but the realism of it, I can relate to because it's something similar to my same sort of thinking of, you know, suffer fools really gladly, or I thought, I like the way you think about football. It's about winning. And with him, it was always about winning as well. It was winning. And he'll tell you himself, I used to beat him every Friday at Crossbar Challenge. He used to buy the donuts and cakes and everything. Every Friday he was skint. He was going to Manchester. Sorry, God.
I doubt skin.
Hey, he was
Maybe not skin, but he had to pay for the donut.
He was going to every cake shop in Manchester to get me cakes because we always used to have a competition. We still laugh about it. No, but I disliked his mindset of it. I never felt anything other. I like the way you think about football, and that's why I asked him to come.
How did that work with him as an assistant, though? Because sometimes your assistant, you know, you spread the positivity and you get them around the lads and tell them what they want to hear. And I can't imagine Roy being like that.
It was no bother. I hear all the stories that people didn't like him and all that. Maybe some did, maybe some didn't. Or I hear some total fabrication of what he was like in a dressing room. Absolute bollocks. I mean, it really is bollocks. So I don't. People say things to make themselves look good. Roy was never like that.
I'll show you that video when Mourinho tries to shake your hand. You fuck him off, don't you? Then he goes to Keane. Yeah. And Keane's like, fucks him off as well. Fuck off.
I knew it was going to happen. I just knew it was going to be happen. I just knew. I seen it coming. I said to him, he's going to shake his hand before the game. He said, don't take it.
So are you looking for a job now, managerial wise, or?
I've had the chance to go back in, which I've said no. I don't. See, to be fair, I don't miss it. I really don't miss it. I enjoy what I'm doing now, basically. I enjoy doing the Dortmund stuff, and I do the stuff for Celtic and that. And obviously, I'm just back for Australia doing the coaching clinic for Dortmund and things like that. So I enjoy that side at the minute. Do I miss the management side? No, not really. I really don't. Something comes up, do I want to do it? It's a real difficult one to answer because for me, like, go back to your point, it's very difficult for me to accept when you don't win trophy. And that's me. And because my career was like that, I'll take to win my career and win nothing. Win nothing and think I was a good player. Because I see and I hear things, people talking about the game, I think you're miles off it, you're nowhere near it. It's whether I want to do that again, you know.
So if you were to get another job and you wanted it, would you go for a Millwall trying to stop in the Championship or a Peterborough trying to get out of League One into the Championship?
No, you'd have to go Peterborough and try to get out.
So because you want a chance of
winning something.
Would you come back in for me?
What's that?
Would you come back in for me? I'll put a shift in for you still.
If I want sacked?
We'll get him in at the end, but he's had enough. Fucking, I'm tired now.
He's not told the story yet, has he? Well, we said it when I came in. We've been down to Newport, and I played him up front. And he got sent off in 2.5 seconds. Oh, fucking hell, he's killed us.
He's trying to get us a sack.
And do you know what? He used to wear I don't know if you remember, he used to wear the biggest shin guards I think I've ever seen in a player.
That would try and control the ball with it.
Well, that's why I got sent off. I was chasing my first touch, genuinely.
But your second touch was a header. Any further back, you're fucking behind your fucking goalkeeper. So I thought Brownie's not get pace to get away from him, so we'll get the ball up to him. The pitch is going to be crap. We'll get the ball up to him and we'll get run about him and see if we can bring people into the game. Fucking hell. So fuck me, what's he fucking doing? The only guy I've seen play with 2 left fucking football boots. Okay.
We got a result though.
Well, we did because you came off.
I should have been sent off in 2.5
I got a clap from the background fence and I was walking out. Thank fuck for that.
That was me. That was me and Alan Irvin. Me and Alan were like, thank fuck he's off. You know?
The best thing he's done for this football club.
I actually tried to get my new contract after that.
Got us hit at 4th round.
Oh, that was brilliant, mate.
Yeah, top man. Thank you very much for that.
Brilliant. No,
Really
it was good.
appreciate that.
That was good.
Yeah, cheers.
It's good.
Tell you what, game for you a bit, didn't he?
As expected.
Yeah.
As expected.
It's just madness. Just talking about the Zidanes and
Roy
Champions League
Keane,
games.
and
flippant,
players
like.
like
Joe,
that.
so flippant, yeah.
I just went
I just had him in my pocket, don't I?
I just went
know
and-
he didn't say that, but
Just went and stood on Zidane, stopped him playing. Yeah, sound.
if you could play for one club, like just pick a club, and you could have done a season, who would you pick?
Barcelona.
Would you?
Yeah.
Maybe LA Galaxy or Las Vegas
What?
Bolts.
Why?
Imagine after every game you can go out in Vegas.
In LA.
In LA, yeah.
John, you see, you like 4 days is too many in Vegas. You're going for a season.
I know.
It's a 3-hour flight as well, mind.
When I was younger. No, I'm probably picking, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
just for a season, and then we'll get shipped out. You?
I think Dortmund might be up there, a
you
German
think?
team.
It seems like a proper working class.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's like football. It's how you think the Premier League, even though it's still the echelons of football in the Bundesliga, it still feels like how the Premier League used to be when we were in it. We were younger in it.
it just looks unbelievable though. Talking of that yellow wall.
Yeah, the atmosphere is crazy.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing in Germany, though, the whole football experience is different. And we've been before.
Well, tickets are like, you're still only paying like 20 quid for a ticket.
I don't think you're paying that. I think you're paying,
It's
15s.
still about the fans, isn't it?
I think you're paying 150 quid for a season ticket for Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Should we go? We need to get one sorted, don't we, a weekend?
Yeah.
Paul's going to sort it out.
But
Our Paul.
We were on Sky last night. You mentioned it.
This was the split second footage.
yeah, Barnsley Bolton last night. Shitting your pants.
Better team went through. By the way, I think I said this on the video. I don't know if he's edited it yet. How good were the Bolton fans?
Unbelievable, isn't it?
It's easy when you're winning, like, innit?
But I don't know if it is. I've never seen an atmosphere
from
like that in a long time, John.
From the first minute, they were the
they
whole
get 'em
stadium was
clappers,
vibrating.
didn't
No, there were fans, you know.
Oh, what, at the game? Or?
Bouncing.
There were fans that turned into flipping. What were them things in the World
Oh,
Cup?
the
Not vuvuzelas.
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 And clappers.
Well, how they were
Yeah.
doing everything.
No,
good
the atmosphere was
atmosphere.
brilliant last night.
Barnsley
Yeah.
just about did themselves proud in the end, but
Yeah, they had a go.
the first leg was the
Killed it.
last goal. Of the
No, they did go for
third
it.
goal of the third leg. This first leg killed her.
It was a good game, wasn't it? A good game.
You were quiet, as expected.
Well,
quite-
you
it's not
returned
all-
the flavour,
It's
didn't
not
you?
all fun and games, is it?
I tell you what, I did not. I wouldn't wish that on worst enemy. Like, I didn't enjoy it whatsoever.
No.
Like,
I
going in
honestly
there-
thought you were going to get filled in, especially at the end.
that guy at the end, because I was very self-conscious about us coming across as a bit of a
Twat.
yeah. So you just got to sit there and not say anything, then, haven't you? You know, couldn't enjoy it whatsoever. Like, especially with the atmosphere the way it were, you just want to get involved. Just sat there, arms folded, quiet. I mean, you don't, because atmosphere was shit at Barnsley, so you wouldn't experience it the same. But
He's just saying I
You
don't
did
want to
wanna
come
get
across as a twat, and he's chelping like that. It's a good job you with me, or you didn't even fucking bother.
at the end, because we were having a good crack with some of the Barnsley fans, and a few of them were saying, "We know you've got your shit on under there. Go on, you might as well get it out now." So I did go for the unzip at the end, and then but one fella was not happy.
You're very lucky you're with me, I'm telling you.
I thought he was talking to me at one point.
Yeah, because he went with Browny, didn't he? Browny, you fucking asshole, cunt. Got the C-bomb.
Yeah, and I think he's bang on. So
It was every man for themselves.
Bang on.
It was every man for themselves because I was not getting involved.
No, I might
You went
just give
two
him
rows back.
the only way we're getting involved with, I might give him a little slide dig myself. Just a little kidney punch, just from nowhere.
Straight one.
But no,
Pretending you're defending me, but it's like that.
would say the better team went through over the both legs, and
Yeah.
all the best to
I think
Bolton in the
both
final.
teams did very well over the two legs, but unlucky, John.
We've only got a couple of episodes left, haven't we, of this batch?
Yes.
Can I call them batches?
No, not.
They're not shit,
No.
are they? Well, we like to think not.
If you're going to go batch, then it's going to double meaning. With
But yeah, a couple.
with it being a common phrase.
And then
Friday clubs.
Yes. Hope everybody's enjoying the Friday clubs. They've been out every
And if you
Friday on
haven't-
audio.
if you haven't listened,
Yeah, give them a bash. A lot of hot topics, a lot of farting.
a lot of sex and sex talk and
Too much.
Too much. Too
Too
much.
much.
just scenarios. I got a message from someone the other day saying the Friday Club's incredible. It's what everybody talks about in a boozer Sunday afternoon. But we've just took it to the masses. Took it to people, haven't we? You know what I mean?
People keep it within their own closed
Yeah.
group, don't they? And yeah.
But if you want to email in, what's the email, Chris?
It is fridayclub@undrthecosh.co.uk. If you've got
And-
any problems, any issues,
Relationship
Any tips,
advice.
hints?
Great on that.
yeah, on anything.
We're happy to help.
Always happy to help.
And if you want to be anonymous, that's totally fine.
And
guys.
just before we finish, as always, we're going to do it again. Thank you to the Patreons.
It's gone double thumb.
Double, I think they deserve a double thumb.
Double thumb wanker.
No, not a shuffle, a thumb. Double thumb.
You were bottom of
thanks to the
shaft.
Patreons for sorting this series out.
And
And
hopefully next
one.
series and
The
one
next
after.
that.
Yeah, much
Do we need
appreciated.
to tell everybody again? There's loads of episodes on there. If you got to end, you already know, don't you?
Big Ron.
Coming up.
Coming up, Big Ronald.
Big Ron coming up on Patreon. I think we can tell the masses, can we?
Heard a whisper.
With the Big Ron on Patreon.
No, thanks for watching and listening once again, and we'll see you next week
At the backstage.
or on Friday. Friday Club.
Adios.
Little pip.